Safety Safari has done a good job as Bob Vandergriff and old buddy Clay Millican come to the starting line. For Bob Vandergriff, his best start, as Mike said, since Denver 2011. 2-2 racing his former teammate Clay Millican, who had a sister get into racing late, but go 7 rounds in Memphis and win in top dragster. Nice job, Lee Hubbard.
I tell you, Clay Millican's really struggled in qualifying. His best run was a 4:18 at 206 miles per hour. That would be low ET of the round thus far if Bob Vandergriff doesn't get down the track.
16th home attempt to go to a final for Bob Vandergriff. Oh my!
Whoa, hang on, and guess what? Millican won.
Despite all of that, yeah, Bob Vandergriff just about destroyed a race car. And little does Clay Millican know, he even won.
He can't see behind him, so he didn't know that he crossed the starting line, or the center line. Says,
just when you think you've seen it all. Good grief.
Well, here's what happened. I thought Clay Millican red light. He did not red light. Vandergriff was just dead late, was looking in that sun. Something distracted him.
1.2 on the reaction timer, yep.
Yeah. And I thought for sure Millican must have red lighted. And then look at Bob really let that thing rotate around, cross the center line. Could have got the win. Because you take another look, you're going to see Clay Millican, that thing's out there. It looked like he might have been feathering the throttle. Vandergriff gets it completely sideways and gets on that throttle before it's squared up to the finish, and that thing just rotates around.
He just about tipped that thing over. Big explosion. Bigger problems behind. Whoa! Bob with a nice job at driving to avoid Clay Millican. Whew. Jamie Howe? Wow, it's exciting.
Well, Mike Green watching on at the start line. Mike, as you watch these first 5 pair go down the track, clearly tricky conditions. As a crew chief, what is it that you can do to get your car down the track?
Well, we can adjust a lot of stuff. Our cars are very adjustable. We run on tracks that are, you know, really cold, and we run on tracks that are 145, 150 degrees. This track, I'm not so sure we can do it. You know, it's not the temperature, just the rain. You know, really took the rubber off of it. And NHRA, they've done the best they can to get it ready for us to come out here and try to get this race in. But it'll be a real challenge. You know, I think that probably most of these races, the driver's going to determine who wins. You know, and we have the best driver out there. So, you know, we'll just do the best we can. You know, try to soften thing up to get it going and let him try to make it to the other end. I mean, it's bad that, you know, we just wrecked a car. We've blown up 3 of them, I think, so far. So it's really hard on, you know, our teams, you know, financially. And it's very dangerous. You know, we've had one of our teammates crash earlier in this weekend, nothing to do with this, but, you know, it's NHRA's call. We're going to do our best and just tell Tony that don't crash trying to win. Just if we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. But keep him and the race car in one piece.
It has been a strange weekend. Thank you.
One more look back at that last pass. It was scary in fast motion. In slow motion, Mike, this thing does look like it's going to tip over.
Yeah, and like I said, he got it rotated around right there, and he gets back on it. And there's just no grip out there, and that back end just washes out, gets it up on 2 wheels, turns into it, which brought it back down. Wow. And he had the presence of mind saying, okay, got to settle down there. Now I'm going to drive it back into the other lane and avoid Clay.
And when he finally gets the word the round win is his, a thumbs up to the few but faithful here at Atlanta Dragway. Vandergriff confused, looking at what's going on. So Bob, maybe going to take this to the next level. Who knows?
I wonder if Bob thought maybe he red lighted, maybe didn't realize that he was just late, because I thought the same thing.
So the conversation continues. What were you doing, Clay? Clay's thinking I just want a round, and that one may need some more splaining, Mike. Perhaps Bob just frustrated because of that big, giant, gleaming orb that nobody's seen here this weekend, known as the sun. Let's see if we can piece this thing together, Mike.
Well, you see Bob Vandergriff very upset with Graham Light on there, and I don't know what he's saying, but I think it's a situation where probably a little bit too dangerous in his mind to be out there, and I don't know if I can disagree with Bob. The issue when we look back, he had a problem seeing the staging lights, went out there and put both lights on, and obviously, boy, he is very upset about that.
And we were just talking with Clay Millican. Apparently the conversation directed toward Clay from Bob Vandergriff related to whether or not you could see. Could you see?
Yeah, you know, I mean, yes, the sun was definitely beaming down on you and all that sort of thing. But, you know, I don't know what happened over there. And, you know, I don't know. All I know is I was told that we won. He crossed the center line. I'm so happy for Parts Plus and Liquid MPG. And, you know, yes, the sun was super bright up there. But, you know, I don't know. You know, I didn't really see what happened.
Look at this monitor. Well, yeah,
oh, wow.
He just moved out of the way. You didn't get a chance to see fully what happened. But he almost turned that thing over. Here's another look.
Oh, yeah. You can see we knocked the burst panels out. Oh, yeah. He was trying to beat me, wasn't he? He was trying to beat me, no doubt about it. But you know what? I'm just so proud for this team. You know, we've worked really hard, and I'm just happy for Parts Plus, Liquid MPG, especially Dexter and Jimmy and all these guys that work on this thing. Yeah, you know, you had me over here earlier, said it was a rough weekend. It was. But you know what? I don't ever get down and out about it because nobody's working harder than they are. They don't want the thing to hurt itself or go out there and you know, bust an oil filter or whatever. You know, that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to run good, and I believe in these guys. And you know what? We didn't set the world on fire right then. We set the burst panels out of it, but
we got to win.
We got to win, you know, and that's what we're out here to do. And I'm just proud for this team, and thanks everybody for hanging in there for this long day.
It's been a long one. Thank you, Clay. Let's check in with Jamie.
Well, Bob Vandergriff made the trip back down to the start line on foot. Bob, clearly the emotions are high. What was going through your mind?
Well, I wasn't going to let him run another car down the racetrack. First off, I couldn't see. The sun was right in the face of the Christmas tree. I was waving my hands and I couldn't see the tree, but nobody did anything, so I went in and staged the car, but I didn't even see the light go. And then when I figured heard Clay go, I hit the throttle and then went out there. I couldn't see where I was going and almost crashed my race car because, first of all, the racetrack is terrible. After that rain, there's no way we should have been racing on it. Second of all, I couldn't see where I was going. So, I mean, it was just, I wasn't going to let another car go down that racetrack. If I had to walk right down the middle lane and stop it, I was going to do it. It's just not, it's not safe. Drivers shouldn't be going down the racetrack, and I just wasn't going to let another car go down that racetrack.
Thank you.
Well, I got to agree with Bob. I mean, that's a good call. It's pretty much been a disaster. Let's face it. I mean, and I'll be honest, I didn't know what was going to happen when they went out there and made the first pair. Right. But, boy, after a couple pair, it was pretty clear that the conditions are very, very tough. And when these cars, it's hard to back them down as much as you need to run down a racetrack. You almost can't do it.
Well, Graham Light, decision's been made to cancel racing for the rest of today. What went behind that decision?
Well, the safety safari worked real hard to try and get this track in condition, and there was a lot of moisture prior to their attempt this afternoon. And the track just didn't come around to the degree that we had hoped. Obviously, you saw cars struggling. Our primary concern, safety. And for that reason, we decided to postpone and work on the track overnight and come back here tomorrow morning.
So what needs to be done overnight to get the track ready?
Well, they're going to scrape all the rubber off the track from the starting line to about 100 foot. Massage it, put new rubber, fresh rubber down, spray it with the PJ1 traction compound, drag over top of it, and just work it like we normally do on a Tuesday or Wednesday coming into any event fresh.
So what will be the run order then tomorrow? Do we start over with who hasn't run? Is the ladder still as it stands right now?
Yeah, the ladder stands. Those cars that ran, the winners have been determined. Conditions were the same in both lanes, and we'll pick up where we left off just prior to canceling.
Thank you.
Okay.
And when those final eliminations continue tomorrow, you can count on coverage on ESPN2 beginning at 8 o'clock Monday evening. So that is good news. We will have the conclusion of the Summit Racing Equipment Southern Nationals at the time you see on your screen. Boy, it was a wild run again for Bob Vandergriff, who started to stare at a big white wall and decided to steer away from that. He almost tipped it over. We'll be back in just a moment with more from Atlanta.